Hi there, I'm Eve Stevens, editor of Movement.net, and I'm here at Move America 2025. And I'm joined today by Greer Johnson Gillis, Senior Vice President and Chief Infrastructure and Development Officer of Jacksonville Transportation Authority. First of all, how are you enjoying your Move experience so far?
I'm having a wonderful time here at Move America. Even though it's day one, already had the opportunity to see and talk with other vendors, see how they're using autonomous mobility in different spaces and use cases. I truly enjoyed our keynote panel this morning, where we spoke to Lyft and we spoke to other May Mobility and other partners, and all the different avenues of autonomous mobility in the school bus zone, in the trucking arena. It just shows you how autonomous mobility really can grow and thrive when you have that partnership. And we at the Jacksonville Transportation Authority are all about autonomous mobility and partnerships. So it's been a great program to date.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that panel. I think it was really interesting to hear about autonomy from all the different sectors, trucking, but also, fleet mobility. So I really enjoyed that as well. So tell me, what's kind of been your Move story? Are there any kind of key conversations or connections that you've made already that you feel like will be important moving forward?
Yes, definitely. At the Jacksonville Transportation Authority, we have been fortunate. Are the first public transportation agency in our nation to actually deliver, deploy, and launch a public transportation autonomous drive service, and revenue service. And so with that, this Move experience for us is being able to share with everyone around the country in those different use cases in different sectors, our journey to deployment and all of the things that we went through in order to bring that service to life. Our CEO, Nat Ford, is also serving as the chair of the Autonomous Vehicle Committee for the American Public Transportation Association. And one of the things he has said in his vision is that this roadmap to autonomous mobility is something that not only will it happen, but it will happen. And so public transportation agencies need to be in the forefront and look at how the technology can be used to really satisfy the desires of their customers, of their riders, and be one of the tools in the toolbox for that. And my role also, I serve as the vice chair of the ACES Mobility Coalition. And with that coalition, several of our members are actually speaking at Move today. So our goal is to make sure that we take this Move America conference, put it on a platform, because we think this is the platform on how we can advance autonomous, connected, electric, shared mobility in the public transportation space. And these are all the partners that we want to work with and advancing that goal. So we thought Move America was the place for all of us to be.
Absolutely, and I think public transportation should 100% be kind of leading the charge with autonomy. Like, it shouldn't just be down to the OEMs. Like, it's really important that they have a stake in that conversation. So definitely. So I understand you're taking part in a keynote tomorrow called Completing the Mass Transportation Jigsaw. What do you kind of anticipate will kind of come up in that conversation without giving too much away? But yeah, what are you kind of hoping, what themes?
Well, a snippet. Myself and Andy Byford, who has a storied career in the transportation industry internationally. So taking his experience and talking about all the different options, all the different solutions that are out there in order to solve that jigsaw. Don't want to give too much away, but what I will share is this. It's not a one-size-fits-all. When you think about public transportation, you've got your foundational pieces, where there's your traditional bus and your traditional rail, heavy rail, light rail, subway. But what are all the different options that really helps your community be able to get from point A to point B, wherever that is, whether you're in a high-density urban area, whether you're in low-density rural areas. Everyone has to get from point A to point B. What are those solutions that allows you to do that? So I'm going to share with everyone how we do it in Jacksonville. our vision, our mission rather, is to make sure we have seamless mobility options and how autonomous mobility really fits into providing those options for our community. And again, how it can be a roadmap for everyone else.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very excited. I will be there at the keynote, so it should be great. So throughout your career, you've kind of really demonstrated a commitment to advocating for inclusivity and equality. You've been a White House champion of change and a dedicated mentor for women in the industry. So how has the transportation industry changed since you kind of began your career? And what more can organizations do to kind of work towards equality and diversity goals?
Thank you for that question. In my experience, I've seen the transportation industry really morph. And what I love about it is, well, look around everyone here. You see both men and women from a variety of different cultures. And that's really what the transportation industry is all about nowadays. And I've been fortunate to see that change, that transformation over my career. And what I truly appreciate is that everyone understands that partnerships is so important. If we all have the same goal of moving people more efficiently, to make sure that everyone has their accessibility needs addressed, then it's important that those partnerships matter. So for all of us in the industry, ensuring that there's workforce development opportunities. I know one of the things I'm proud of at the Jacksonville Transportation Authority, we make sure to invest in every employee in their own professional development through our own JTA University, but also how we partner with academics, businesses, to make sure that we provide those workforce development opportunities for all so that the entire community can grow. And if the industry continues to do that as a whole, we'll see more of that in the industry, and more than likely Move America 2026 and beyond will have double the attendees.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I'm just enjoying there's so many different people, so many different stories at this event, and I think that's what makes it really special. So obviously you've spoken a bit about autonomous vehicles, but what innovations, maybe what other innovations or new technology are you really excited by at the minute? Is there anything you think we should all be talking about?
Sure. Well, always around autonomous mobility, we see that as the future, the now and the future. One of the things we are excited about at the JTA is we're looking at how artificial intelligence, AI, can be used across all of our different services. For example, we just launched a system that uses artificial intelligence to make predictive determinations on the status of our fleet. If we find that one of our fixed route buses may need to come back for earlier preventative maintenance or to proactively address the issue as it arises, that helps us to move more efficiently. That also minimizes downtime for our vehicles. We're also using artificial intelligence to really stack our buses or park our buses in the parking lots at night at our Myrtle Avenue Operations Campus. That way we can deploy more efficiently every morning. And we have just launched a series where we're doing digital twins of some of our major infrastructure. We did a digital twin of our Navi service on the Bay Street Innovation Corridor. We're actually going to expand that to all 10 miles of our future Navi service. And so for us, always looking for innovation to see how we can move things more efficiently within the JTA and across our Northeast Florida community. So as I'm engaging all of the vendors here in the exhibit hall, I'm looking for what other innovations that we can bring to the JTA, layered on top of our autonomous mobility, but really all of the services that we have, just so we can move people across Northeast Florida more efficiently.
Absolutely. And I think AI and autonomy have definitely been buzzwords, and I'm sure they will continue to be as we look forward into kind of future innovation. So let's talk, just to end, a little bit about sustainability. What kind of role does sustainability play both within your own leadership and then also the goals of the JTA? Yeah, and how do you think your kind of newest projects are really in line with these sustainability goals?
Sustainability has been something that's always been a part of my leadership journey. And at the Jacksonville Transportation Authority, as we look at what's really at the forefront of that, it's really about efficiency, It's about how do we make sure there is proper use of our resources? How do we make sure that we're taking the best practices across the world and bringing it to us? So when it comes to resiliency, we're in Northeast Florida. There is resiliency issues that are going on not only citywide but also statewide. We want to make sure we layer on top of that. We look at things such as microgrids for our Autonomous Innovation Center, which is our operations and maintenance facility for our autonomous vehicles. We wanted to make sure that we showed that we were putting efficiency and resiliency to work. We placed 129 solar panels, a microgrid, the first of its kind in downtown Jacksonville, Florida, and that actually will take the entire power demand of that facility in and of itself. And so we always look for ways of how can we make sure we have high efficiency facilities, but yet we're looking at reduction of water resources or reduction water consumption, I would say, waste consumption, even energy consumption, things we can do every day. And then we hold ourselves accountable every year to track our trends and see what things we needed to do on the infrastructure side to ensure that we are good stewards of our energy resources. And because I also oversee our capital program, I have to talk about the things we're doing on the construction and infrastructure side, looking at best practices, from the materials we use to the design processes we put in place to, again, just be better stewards of the resources that we have for us when we're actually laying out our infrastructure.
Absolutely. Well, very impressive. Thank you so much for joining us today. I've had an absolute pleasure speaking with you, and I look forward to hearing you on your keynote tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure speaking with you today, and I love Move America 2025.
Yeah, have a great rest of your conference. Thank you.